Well, well, well. Guess who it is? Diesel's back. Join me, subscribe to get the word out. Diesel's back, and he ain't going nowhere. Hello. Hope we're all well. Big up to everyone who's joined us tonight. Thank you very much. Guys, I've just got to say, don't ever say I don't do anything for you people, all right? Because I have got a star-studded lineup. I am buzzing. I've been buzzing all day. Look at my face. It's so obvious. There are two, actually, no, Jez has been on before, but there are two people who are making their debut on Diesel Arsenal tonight. By the way, I have the lovely Gracie Mae there, and also Northside as well. I've known Northside for about 5 minutes, but already he's my guy. So, it's going to be a good stream tonight. First of all, before we crack on, I just want to do what I normally do, because you guys are the stars of the show. It's not me. Oregon Gooner, big up yourself. Alan Attic, we've got Ryan Stockley. Gracie Mae is here and in the chat, love it. We've got Shami D, we've got Kabir Udden, Mike England, we've got Pepsi Pack, David Dundas, Marshall Kagami, Joseph Connor Golden, up you well, boys. So we've got the lovely Sarah Wingrove in the chat, we've got Ding Dong, Footy Chats is here, Craig AFC 87. This won't take all night, people, I promise you. We've got Peter Jablonowski, come on, Brenny K74, and we've got Stephen Baverstock. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. And listen, I just want to do one thing right before we crack on. Smash the likes. I'm still getting a lot of people saying, oh, I didn't know you was live. Please, please, please hit the notification bell. It really makes a difference a lot of the time, especially with the season upon us now. We're going to be going last minute, doing a lot of these last minute streams. Hit that notification bell. And that goes for these three guys as well as me. So please, please, please. I've put the guys' Twitter handle, Instagram and YouTube in the description below. And hit the likes, like I say, because if not, I'm going to do a north side. I've got my slipper here. This should be a tribute to you. That's, you know, when I ran out to say I forgot something, yeah? That's just to you, brother. Come on. My slipper, yeah?
Let's get some discipline in it.
I thought of it last. I thought I've got to do it. But yeah, it really works. But yeah. So listen, I'm going to start with Gracie first. Obviously, ladies first. Now, obviously, for anyone who didn't see it, we was on Gracie's channel last night, Gracie Mae. Really good channel, and obviously we need to get her to 1,000 subs minimum. So once again, Gracie, last night thanks for having me on last night, and thank you for returning the favour and coming on mine tonight. What I wanted to really talk about, guys, and I'm going to come to you first, Gracie, but just to give you a little bit of the situation. Right? So as you know, I went to the game on Saturday. And obviously went to the Tollington, had a few drinks in there, went to the game, left the game, went back to the Tollington, had one, then went to the Coronet, right? So in the Coronet, right at the back, Jez, you'll know this, right at the back, there's a beer garden, right? So we're all out there, rammed. Now, I'm with a couple of, four of my mates. Two of them are absolutely love them to bits, and I know they're watching right now, but they are deluded, right? So they were obviously buzzing about the result, saying obviously, we're going to do the quadruple this season, even though half of them we're not in the competitions, but we're going to do it anyway. All I said, Gracie, was, you know what, 6-0, great goals. Jesus looks sharp, love it, brilliant, sweet. But guys, let's not gas it up too much. It's a pre-season game. Seville were crap. The biggest test comes in the league, right? The minute I said that, Gracie, I was deemed, why are you so negative? Why you always got to be negative? Right? Now, obviously, I'm quite loud, as you can probably tell. I'm not quiet. So, obviously, there were several Arsenal fans in that beer garden who could hear what we were saying, and they've now got involved. All of a sudden, this is now a heated debate, right? Now, my question to you is, as it stands right now, I firmly do believe that Arsenal will get one more in. I do believe that, right? But as it stands now, what do you think Arsenal realistically are going to do this season? Where do you think we'll finish? Do you think we'll win anything as it stands right now? And also, if we do get that one centre mid, which I believe we will get. So what's your take on it as it stands now?
As it stands now, I think the squad are in a decent position. I wouldn't say it's like the best position overall to be going out saying like we could win things, because there's areas that still need work. But what we have done so far is it's huge for the squad, and I think that's going to really help us next season. I think moving realistically, I think I'm predicting top 5. I think we will finish 4th, because it's a big but, because I think a lot of jobs depend on this as well this season. This is literally make or break for the Arsenal staff. For Arteta, Edu, they have over 400 million pretty much, if the things we're hearing are right, nearly over 400 million spent. There is no way you can run or hide anymore. The clock is nearly striking 0, and that is at the end of the season, even before that. So I think realistically we should be finishing 4th, and I think we can do it. But the other side of me is the negative side, is also like there's a lot of teams that are going to be competing for top 4 this season that have gone out and spent during the transfer window. Realistically, you're looking at 7 different teams trying to compete for 4 places. I don't think we're going to see what we saw last season, and that is, majority of teams were crap. Like, it was very close. Like, moving into it, was a few point difference between, the majority of top 4 and moving down. So it was a close one. And I don't think we're going to see that this season. I think some teams are going to steam ahead, etc. But realistically, I see top 4. I don't see any trophies, but I do see us going far in the Europa League. I think that is an expectation, like semi-final, final. I'm expecting this season. We have Jesus, we have Zinchenko. Two positions that not having them harmed us last season. So I think I'm excited to see what we can do with a strengthened squad. And if we do get a centre mid, and if we do get Tielemans, that my predictions would go a little bit further, maybe 4th and a trophy.
Do you think we'll get more signings in?
Yes, I think we'll get one more, and that is Tielemans. I think it's a pretty much done deal. I think if the sources that everywhere I've been looking are, reliable and true, it's pretty much done. Fees are agreed, personal terms are agreed, so it's just a matter of time really between, getting the deal done. But I don't think we'll get anyone else. I think one more and that's it. Yeah,
I don't know why it's dragged. I think the Tielemans one will happen. There was a part of me thinking Arsenal, Wijnaldum, I'm saying that would be a good signing, but Northside, same to you, my brother. What do you reckon?
For me, I think we're going to end up worse than last season. I think last season, the fact that he threw away the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup worked to our favour, but not enough. Clearly, it wasn't enough. 1 game a week, playing our strongest team every week, still wasn't good enough. And the problem is, we still got the worst manager out of the top 6. That is the biggest thing. So even if he gets all the players he wants this transfer window, I still see him underperforming because he's not good enough. We've seen the example before when you don't get a proper manager in, with Chelsea's experiment with Lampard, also Man United with Ole. They're not good enough. And ultimately, your manager's going to cost you points, even if you've got the team. I mean, how much money did Lampard spend? Whether you rate that team or not, he underperformed. It was the same with Ole. I think he got second one time, and then he dropped back down. So it wasn't really a good indicator of how far he took that team. That team is still struggling and being coached. Ten Hag has been there. So I think it's the same problem with Arsenal. We've got the weakest manager. Tuchel's better than him. Klopp's better than him. Pep's better than him. Conte's better than him. Ten Hag is better than him. All on CVs. I don't even think it's even a debate. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even think anyone can
debate at all. No.
You know what I'm saying? So just on manager, we're worse. Then you look at the team. Cool. We're going once again with 1 striker that can actually bang in the Premier League. Well, that's the same that we had last season. 1 striker that could perform. I know Aubameyang underperformed, but he started performing when he was out there in Barcelona getting proper coaching. So once again, we're going into the season with only 1 striker. Nketiah, we already know he ain't good enough. You're looking at the midfield. We already said it last season. Our midfield was the weakest out of the top 6. Have we addressed that? Even if you get Tielemans in, is this midfield really that much better? We're still 2 injuries away, like last season, from our season capitulating. If Partey gets injured, we already know El Nene isn't good enough to pick up the mantle. If Gabriel Jesus gets injured, we know nketiah is not good enough to pick up the mantle and get us to where we should be, which should be now competing for the league, competing for major honours. So it's the same. Okay, we have strengthened in Tierney's position, getting Zinchenko, but that was never really our weakest position. Right back position still hasn't been strengthened. I think bringing Saliba back, okay, our central defensive, area is now stronger, but our midfield is still weak, bro. And I don't see much of an improvement. When you look, Marquinhos, he's not a starter. Well, Odegaard's got on his captaincy, so clearly he must be better than Fabio Vieira because he's not going to be captain sitting on the bench. Even if you get Tielemans in, I've said this before about Tielemans, I like the player, but off the ball, he leaves a lot to be desired. He doesn't track back. He's not very fast. His defensive work rate isn't all that. And the same is with Partey. Partey's good, but he's always injured. He's always injured. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Nothing has really improved when you really dissect this team. And then we're going to be relying on Martinelli and Saka. It's the same porcaria. Saka burnt out towards the end of the season. Who we're going to rotate? Because Pepe looks like he's on the way out. We're going to get 25 mil. Are you going to get a player of the same caliber as Saka for 25 mil? I don't think so. Are you going to get a player for 25 mil the same caliber as Martinelli? I don't think so. So we're going to be going with them two in all competitions and burn them out. Where's the rotation there? There's still a lot to be desired. So for me, I think we're going to finish 7th next season.
Yeah, it's exactly what I called. Before I come to Jez, guys, can I just say as well, I'm so sorry. Terence was meant to come on. He is working nights. I think he's asleep as we're talking right now. So I think he's working in a couple of hours. He'd not long got in from work. Me personally, once he found out who was coming on the show tonight, I think he got a little bit scared. That's just my opinion. But obviously Jez is here, and obviously if I didn't tell him who won, Jez would, and so would Northside, and Gracie definitely would. So yeah, it was on a hiding to nothing really. He will be coming on. I think we're going to be doing a stream Sunday at some point as well to obviously dissect the Palace game. And yeah, so he will be coming on very, very soon. Okay, Jez, what's your verdict? What's your take?
First of all, mate, thanks for inviting me on.
Anytime.
And I'm just going to say to you, I've got no issue with Cherry. It's the same on all sides. We get deluded fans on the channels, but I respect their views. Doesn't mean I agree with them. But anyway, get back to your point. Let's not all get gassed up and excited. I said last night on Gracie Mae's channel, we've had a great pre-season. It means nothing. The real powder in the cannon will be Friday night away at Palace. Let's see what Arsenal can perform. Let's see what they can do. My opinion is we are still very weak in midfield. But we all know Xhaka will play week in, week out. And I see the comments on certain channels that he's had a great pre-season. Yeah, okay. Xhaka may be great against Orlando City. He may be great against Everton abroad. He may be great against Chelsea. Let's get it right, people. I watched the Chelsea game. Gracie watched it. Maybe you guys did.
Yeah.
Chelsea couldn't be bothered. Right? I watched the game at the Emirates Cup Sunday. Seville, what are you going to call them? They couldn't be asked. All they wanted to do was kick lumps of play out players. So I'm not getting overexcited about winning 6-0. Yeah, it's nice, it's great, it's pretty, it's lovely. And, I was more impressed personally by the Lionesses. A team that had passion and went out and won a European trophy against Germany that the England team, men's team, can't do. So big up to them. I was more impressed by that, to be fair. Now, to answer your question, Diesel.
Yeah.
We're away at Palace. You've been at Palace, Diesel.
Yeah. Great away. Yes. Great.
It's a tough place to go. Northside, you've been there. It's a tough place to go. It's a relentless crowd base. It's a very old, small stadium, very much like Highbury was. The crowd is on top of you. The players can hear what they're saying. So that is when I'll make a prediction of how good this team is. I'm sorry, I'm not faking it. I'm not giving it any big time, but I'm sorry, I've been there, seen it, done it so many times. Friday night, away at Palace, let's see what Arteta can do with this team. But I'll make this prediction. Unless he strengthens, Edu and him, strengthens this midfield with an attacking midfielder of quality, nothing's going to change.
Yeah, listen, I totally agree. Do you know what? I just want to get your take on this, right? Because for me, going to honestly, I mean this when I say this, right? It was a real eye-opener because obviously I do a lot on here and I watch alongs, this, that, the other. Actually going and being within earshot of a lot of these Arsenal fans in the pubs and at the stadium, and it amazed me because the minute you say something, not negative, I prefer the word cautious. So I'd always say that there's nothing negative about being, realism. I'm having the chat. You know what it's like, guys. You know, like you go to the pub, and whether you know them or not, you're all Arsenal fans. You just cut in the conversation that you overhear, and obviously before you know it, you're in a deep convo about the Arsenal, right? My thing is, touching on what Northside said as well, the midfield for me is the heartbeat of anything, of any team, right? So we could have world-class strike force and a world-class defence. If that midfield's not right, it's like a pack of cards, it all falls down, right? So, I look at that and I just think to myself, and obviously with this Thomas Partey thing, this alleged thing, now we don't know what's going to happen with that, but I'd like to think as a manager and as a club, prepare for that. Should something happen down, later on down the road, we've got cover, right? That's irrelevant. We need midfielders anyway. My biggest gripe with a lot of fans is, I don't think it's a case of if we buy 5-6 quality players, all of a sudden, that's it, it works. I delve right deep into it. There is a mentality problem at this club, and it's been here for years, right? And I'm going like before Arteta got here. I don't think it's a case of if we get 4 or 5 really good players, that's it, it's all fixed, right? For me, there are testing times throughout a season. Right, there are moments throughout a season where we really need these players to turn up. And the Arsenal I see, season in, season out, is, are they going to be up for it this game? So you could have Norwich, who are facing relegation. We're at home to Norwich. What do you reckon, Diesel? I should be, so who are we playing next? I don't even got to talk about Norwich. That's a blatant 3 points. But I'm still like, I don't know. Norwich. Well, if we turn up, and I'm sick and tired of saying that about the Arsenal, Liverpool turn up to every game, no matter who they're playing. Top team, bottom team, big team, small team. They play the same way. As soon as that whistle goes, they're on it. When we play Palace on Friday, as you said, Jez, because I'm looking at the first 10 games, I want Arsenal to turn up every single week. If we don't win every game, cool. But play in the same fashion. Palace, when that whistle goes, I'm very intrigued to see, are they going to be on it, pressure, right from the off? Because we have possession and we allow that team to creep into the game. So I want to see what we've learned from pre-season, because having Jesus, great. Saliba, great. But for me, it's always been up here. It's a mentality problem. Is that still here? Will we buckle under the pressure?
We will. We will, because no one ever applies the pressure. At the end of the day, most of these fans wanna stick it onto fans like ourselves that call it as it is, instead of sticking it to the club that make promises and never live up to it. We weren't the people that said we're going to move to the Emirates to compete with Bayern Munich. That wasn't what we said. We're not the ones spending all this money, more money than Liverpool, and still not able to compete. And our squad is nowhere near on the level of Liverpool. You know what? The thing that you got this guy Christopher Ward saying, just a question: why is it when someone has a different of opinion, they're deluded? Bro, let me tell you this. Yeah, the majority of this fan base move the goalpost whenever it's relevant for them. Yeah, when it was the Everton match, everyone was against this manager and saying he lost the dressing ball, he lost the dressing room. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. He has to go. Wins a couple of games, back on board. We bought how many players last summer, and how many of them have actually come good? You could say Ramsdale, probably Odegaard is mediocre. The rest of them ain't good enough. Yeah, Lokonga's going out on loan. Tavares going out on loan. The rest of them ain't good enough. Tomiyasu, he looks like a right back version of Tierney in the sense of always being injured, and he ain't good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, once again, we come into this transfer window, we're getting Trusty that's getting loaned out to Birmingham. Well, you can't be that great because you're getting loaned out straight away. Then we've also got this Tina Turner as a goalkeeper, absolutely shocking in pre-season. When does this club get held to account? People say, "Oh, we're saving money, we're doing this, we're doing that." What other club smash their transfer record year in, year out and get rid of those players for nothing? Ozil, Lacazette, Aubameyang. We let Ramsey go for free. Like, how many times? And then we wonder why we don't have money. But you know who's held to account? Fans like us. Instead of these lot actually holding the Cronkies to account, yeah, they hold us to account. They only want to get together when it's to protest against the Super League. Once the Super League was done, right, that's it, job done, let's go back to business. Do you know what I mean? Forget it. They don't want to protest. They want to hold us fans and call us negative. Well, it is negative because we're still part of the chasing pack, yet we're buying players like Marquinhos, ain't good enough to strengthen our starting lineup. Fabio Vieira probably on the same level as Odegaard, that's probably going to get us fifth. We've got flipping Trusty coming in that ain't good enough, yeah? Apparently, he's not even as good as Rob Holding because he's the one going out on loan. And Rob Holding ain't even been good enough. Granit Xhaka hasn't been good enough for how many years? Still here. I'm not seeing him being linked to anyone. This is the problem. Fans concentrate on the wrong thing. They concentrate on what fans like us are saying instead of what this club is doing. And it's spending and throwing away money, burning money on players that are not good enough. Is Tavares the right player? Edu came out and said, we want to look at the right player. Is Tavares the right player? A left back that can't even defend. Ben White, everyone tells me he's good at playing the ball at the back. Did we care about how good Rio Ferdinand played the ball at the back? Or flipping Sol Campbell? No, we didn't. The art of defending hasn't changed. But they don't want to question that because it's more popular to say, oh, it's a youth project. Well, this is the third youth project we're going into. We had a youth project under Fabregas. We had a youth project with Wilshere and Gibbs and all them man there. And Jenkinson, you remember him. And now we're getting another youth project.
The Ox.
Exactly. And what did we win out of it? Nothing. But they don't want to hold us account. Nah, you're negative. Nah, no, we've seen too many youth projects and not enough major honours from it. That's the problem.
And do you know what, right? I just want to sort of like touch on that, right? Because these guys, look, they seem nice enough guys, right? Who I was having a bit of a heated debate with. These are season ticket holders. So you know what you say there about when fans sort of, oh yeah, we're saving money, this and that, the other. Well, that's fine, but your season ticket's going up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so what annoys? This is the thing that annoys. So I haven't got a season ticket. I just won't do it. I won't do it. Right? These fans, I'm more on it. I'm more angry than what they are, and yet these are the ones being mugged off every year for 2 or 3 grand. Do you know what I'm saying? I just don't understand it. That 4% increase last season, and I say it all the time. If you're paying Havertz prices, you should expect to see Havertz football or Havertz players coming through the door. This is where that disconnect is, and this is where some of these Arsenal fans, some of them deserve exactly what they get because we are a minority. Like, don't ever get that twisted. Right? People with our sort of way of thinking, we are a minority, and I saw it big time on Saturday. Right? These guys just want a day out, go to the pub, few pints, watch a game, go home, money well spent. Right? Well, see, we look at it a bit differently because this is a big club. Right, they make over 3 million every home game. That is a fact. That's not my opinion. This club makes money. So when you and everyone said, and this is the point I made as well, right, to a lot of these guys. At the end of last season, every man and their dog said, for Arsenal to compete, Arsenal need at least 6-7 quality players. That was the 6 or 7, give or take. We've got 2. Where's the other 4 or 5? Do you know what I'm saying? But again, people change the goalposts because now these fans are, well, I'll give it till Christmas, see what he does. You said that last season We were out of every cup competition. Then it went to the end of the season. Now, Christmas. And this guy got more protection than Arsene Wenger. I just don't understand it. Jez, Gracie, I mean, would you agree?
Do you want to go first, Jez?
Go on.
No? Okay. I think, you know, it does bother me when we do get called negative, and talking about like the mentality around the players. You can see it's down, and it hurts more that, you know, you go to games and, you know, people that go there for the day out, right? I know we're the minority and people just generally, you know, they support Arsenal for whatever reason. But I think in the minority of us have been supporting Arsenal our whole lives. Do you know what I mean? I'm 17. I've never seen us win a major honour ever in my life. Never. And it hurts. You know, I'm a generational Gooner. Across my family, they've all seen it. I hear all the stories and this and that. But I've never experienced it. I've experienced FA Cups, but it's not going to be the same feeling as winning, you know, something massive like a major honour. And the fact that, you know, people say we're negative, and it's not negativity. It's just generally looking like we want to win. People that, you know, say all these positive things. I got a comment on my channel today, and it said, if you just believe it, then it might happen. No, no, I'm sorry. I'm not sitting here and believing some crap about some youth project that, you know, has not worked for, you know, like a decade. You don't see these youth projects ever work because players don't develop at the same time. They don't. It's just how football works. It's how humans work. Humans don't evolve at the same time, do they? It's gradually. It's the same with footballers. They don't, you know, all suddenly get good at one time just because they're being taught the same things. It doesn't work like that. And people buying into it. And that's why people support, you know, Arteta so much and Edu so much. No other club. We are the highest spending club in Europe. The highest spending club. And what we have zero to show for it. Zero. One FA Cup that was a fluke during lockdown, and we got rid of the guy that carried us, and one of the guys that carried us we got rid for free, and the other guy, you'll never see him. You don't see Pepe. 72 million down the drain there. That is burning money. Quite literally, you got a quality player sitting on the bench, but no.
Yeah.
Not going to use it. It's stubbornness. And I think, you know, this documentary comes out tomorrow, and I think we're going to see the lack of mentality. I've seen clips, and I know probably everyone in the chat has seen the clip where he's trying to replicate the atmosphere of Anfield. And we go and that was the training session before we got beat 4-0. 4-0. This manager's muppet ideas. Seriously, like this is what people are buying into. It's that is the guy you're buying into. For me, make or break season. This is it. Like, I will go there and protest by myself if I have to. I will go there. I'm fed up with it. I want to see a trophy. 17 years old, and I've only seen FA Cups.
See, Jez, right? Jez, as much as, because I've said exactly the same as Gracie, right? This is make or break. There's no hiding place. When you think about it, is it make or, from Arsenal's point of view, is it? For Arteta, is it?
Diesel, I think a very crucial statement was made by Edu in an interview. It's time to win trophies. I think he made that statement. Let's quote what was stated last year. Trophies are not our objective. That was because of this bullshit process. I think now, behind the scenes, I could be talking absolute rubbish. I don't know. But I think the Cronkies have now said you need to win. If you don't win, you're done. Because he has made the statement, guys. It's time to win trophies. So that says to me, the Cronkies have said, Edu, we've given you a shed load of money over 3 seasons. Arteta, you've had your transfer windows. You've now got the team that you wanted, although I still think it's not right in the fact that we are weak in that midfield. And if we don't strengthen it, guys, we're going to get proven wrong, because when we come up against the likes of Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and I actually had a discussion the other day with a Chelsea fan. I've known him for years. Lovely fella. And he said, you caught us on a wrong day last season when you done us down at the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea were crap that night. Chelsea were absolute pony. But getting back to my point, guys, Edu's made that statement. That's a very, very strong statement. We have to win trophies. So I'm putting it out there, and this is my statement. If he is not, Arteta, I mean, challenging for the Premier League by Christmas, if he's not next season, next year, I mean, in the quarterfinals of the Europa Cup, if he's not getting further than the 5th round of the FA Cup, I don't want to see this club go out in the 3rd round again. Then he's got to go. I think the statement has been made. It's been put on the table by Edu. And I think Edu has been told by the Cronkies, Mike, this is purely my view, that he's gone. He's done. He's finished. And the day it all goes wrong, what will happen to the Arteta sexuals? What are they gonna do?
They'll move on. They'll move on to the next one, because as far as I'm aware, they just keep rolling it on. Like, they're gonna, you got to back everyone. You got to back your manager. I back him on match day, but doesn't mean I agree with everything else he's doing.
Well, the thing is, Gracie, there comes a point in time in life that you can't accept losing anymore in business of any shape or form. Any shape or form. Whether you're an insuranceman or whether you are digging up roads or what, it doesn't matter. You have to accept defeat. And when you accept that defeat, it's time to move on. And the fact, I believe, the club has made a statement and they've put it out there. Edu announced it. We need to win trophies. That, I think, is a very key point.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, in your honest opinion, Jez, do you think we'll get more in? Do you think we'll get 1 or 2 more?
I think we'll get Tillman's, man. I still think. I think once we've got, if we do get Tillman's, that's our business done. And I think that's a weak point in the fact I have no faith in the fact that we've got. I mean, I love Jesus. Don't get me wrong. I think this guy is a major asset to the team.
Yeah.
If he gets cropped, we've got Nketiah. Who else have we got?
And do you know what?
Sorry?
That brings me on nicely, because you know one thing that's really annoyed me, right? Balogun going out on loan, and I heard that there was a couple of Premier League clubs who wanted to loan him, and I'm thinking, why go to Reims or Rhymes, whatever they're called? Because for me, if you're going to loan him, I want to see what he can do in this league.
Yeah.
So if there's a Premier League club who's open to taking him, send him on loan. You know that they have that thing that he can't play against us or whatever, but the parent club. Ideal opportunity to see what he can do in this league. I just don't. He could be amazing at Reims or Rems or whatever they're called, but we're talking a totally different league.
Yeah.
Is it money? Well, it clearly is, but it's just, I don't get it. I think And listen, with regards to Jez, I totally agree with you, because I personally believe we need another striker. There's going to be a lot of defenders going after Jesus this season. They're going to be kicking him all up and down, right? Because he's just that quick. He's that quick. They're going to.
Diesel, sorry to interrupt you.
Go on, mate. Go on.
Why are we looking to loan Coutinho to Blackpool? No disrespect to Blackpool. And yet, fair play to them. They're a Division 2 bleeding team, right? We should be looking to loan him out to another Championship side, or maybe Brentford, dare I say it, or somebody like that. No disrespect to Brentford. Come on, let's get it right. They've done us. But if we want to loan our players out, I want them to go to teams that are going to challenge us and challenge him. I don't want our players going to bit part teams.
Yeah.
And that is no disrespect to the teams that these players go to, but if these players that we've got coming from Hale End, then they need to be going to teams that will challenge the player. I'm not talking about teams that are going to challenge for league titles, FA Cups, all that, but they need to be challenging the player. Challenge that player to get in the side. They've got to prove themselves. And I'll leave it there.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree. I mean, look, me personally, I'm very close to that point where I'm so hung up on the manager. It gets to a point for me where it's irrelevant now who Arsenal buy. We've still got him, and I think that's where I'm at. Northside said it perfectly. When you look at the top six, we have by far got the worst manager. And we saw last season and the season before that how tactically inept he is. And let's be honest, I've always said this, it's nothing personal about Arteta. I'm not sitting here, I've never said I hate him. I just don't rate the man. I don't rate the man. And Northside as well, like coming back to you quickly, right? Again, a lot of these fans were telling me on Saturday how great he is, and they can really see he's young, he's hungry, he's modern, he's forward thinking, this, that, the other. My question, but these Artetarians, they do leave a lot out as well. So when I challenge them on certain things, I don't really want to talk about it. Last season, when we bottled top four, it was handed to us on a plate. And let's be real, more than once, we had it in our grasp. More than once, and we still couldn't. One of the games, all we had to do was draw, right? So you got that. Then when I mentioned those 3 games that we lost, was it Southampton away? I can't remember the other 2. And then we went to beat Chelsea. Those 3 games was forgotten because we beat Chelsea. Yay! Right? What I'm trying to say is with Arteta, is it a case of like it's just, has he learned anything? Like is he gonna I just don't know. Has he got that thing? I look at Klopp and Pep, these are like great managers who know how to motivate a team. I just don't think he's got it. I'm sorry. Will he prove us wrong this season? I don't know. I doubt it. But will he ever come good? My question to you. I don't know.
Nah, this guy is the equivalent of Andres Villas-Boas. Do you remember Andres Villas-Boas? Went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because he was the understudy to Mourinho. What happened there? Do you know what I mean? I've said it before. How many assistant managers of Alex Ferguson, the greatest manager I've ever seen in my time, how many of his assistant managers became amazing managers? I think one of them even started, I think he was managing for the Portuguese national team. This guy is a Spanish version of Andres Villas-Boas. He ain't good enough. He hasn't even learned his trade. He's just not good enough. I didn't want this guy because this is the guy putting cones and bibs out at Man City. He's not the guy. It's completely different. We've seen in football, you need to go and learn your stripes. Even Mourinho learned his stripes. Almost became Barcelona manager, but they chose Pep instead. He learned his stripes. Do you know what I mean? Out there in Barcelona under a great manager. So All these managers have gone through Arsene Wenger before he came here. You know what I mean? He went and learned his trade. I think he won the league and the cup double over there at Monaco, learned his trade, went to Asia, won over there, came over here.
Yeah.
It is what I mean. Like all these managers, there's a reason. There is a reason because it's not something you can just pick up and do at the elite level. Look at Patrick Vieira. I mean, we ain't done Crystal Palace. He went over to France. Then he went and managed, I think it was the New York City, I think, over there in the MLS. Yeah. He went and got his stripes. And no one's calling him the next Pep. But look at what he's doing against Arsenal. They don't spend almost £400 million on players. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just not good enough. And I look at it and I just go like, what is the fascination? And people say, oh, we got to get behind the manager. When Arsene Wenger came to Arsenal, they were saying Arsene who? Yeah? No one was behind him. They didn't know who he was. Do you know what I mean? Alex Ferguson didn't respect him. You know what I mean? Even our captain, Tony Adams, came out and said, "Who's it? What does this Frenchman know about?"
French? Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? So who cares? If you're good enough, you'll earn the respect. You'll earn the respect of the players. But this guy, he can only deal with youngsters. How can you get rid of Aubameyang? And then in January, when you get rid of Aubameyang, he's scoring more goals than your whole squad overall in January. But this is the striker that can't bang goals, apparently. And now he's banging again. He was banging again in pre-season. It makes no sense. This guy isn't good enough. And one thing I wanted to bring up is a bit away from your question, but I wanted to bring this up. Edu said, yeah, we're halfway through the process. Cool. So we're halfway through the process, getting fifth, with the manager that spent almost £400 million, got all his players, has got almost everything he wants, yeah? Well, why did we go with him? Because if we're halfway with this guy, 3 years getting fifth place, why did we stick with Unai Emery? Because Unai Emery apparently had deadwood, which is what all the super fans say, deadwood team, deadwood players, and he still dragged that team to a European final and still got fifth. I think 1 or 2 points off of fourth place with a deadwood squad. And before anyone says about, oh, you need all your players, you need the right players, he didn't get the players he wanted. He got players that were given to him. The players that he did bring in, that wasn't the players that he wanted. So how can he do that? So it doesn't make any sense. You back the manager that takes 3 years to get halfway to the process instead of the manager that gets halfway through the process in less than half the time it took this manager. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It don't make any sense to me. And for me, honestly, like, I don't want to hear anything from no Arsenal fan, no Arteta sexual. When Edu's coming out and saying we should be winning things, this club should have the mentality to win things. All these players all of a sudden want to come out and interview. Granit Xhaka coming out interview now. Now he's got chest. Now my guy wants to talk and say, oh, we want to challenge and we want to do this and we want to do that. Literally, they've given themselves the rope to hang on because now they said that we have to get in top four and we have to be challenging for major honours. So if he doesn't do that, I'm expecting them, all of these lot, to lose their job.
Do you know what? Gracie, right? He's right, isn't he? Northside. I mean,
yeah.
if we're being honest, the thing that, because I asked Terence this all the time, because Terence was one of the very few who actually wanted Arteta in before he got here. My question has always been, and no Arteta in has been able to answer this for me. Why did you want him? And I always say this: if he was number 2 to Sean Dyche at Burnley, would you have wanted him? The answer, obviously, is no. It's because he's worked under Pep. The same Arsenal fans who coat Pep off, but yet you want his understudy, right? So my question: who's Pep's number 2 now? Because I don't know who it is. And do you know what? And the third thing as well is that they all rave about Arteta. The reason it's meant to be a really good coach. Raheem Sterling and a couple of others have come out and said he's really improved my game. Cool, that's fine. Good coach. Now Pep, I love Pep. For me, he's the best. He's my best manager in world football right now. I love Pep. And I've always said there must be something about Mikel because Pep can get anyone in world football he wants, right? But he went with Pep with Mikel. So I agree to an extent. It got to be something. My question is, if he's this great coach, why is it me, you, Gracie, Northside and Jez can reel off enough players at this club who have regressed under him? When you look at Pepe ain't crap, right? He's not. He can't get a tune out of Pepe. Wenger, for me, would have. He would be an ideal Wenger player. Tavares, I reckon Wenger would turn him into a winger. Again, Arteta, that was his signing. Because all I hear, but it was Emery's signing. It wasn't Arteta's player. So, So, do you know what I'm saying? He's meant to be a right good coach, so he can bring these players along, right? I mean, what's your take on that? I mean, will this guy ever improve? Because for me, there's no hiding place this season, as you just said.
No, I think so. You know, players have come out when he was at City. He's a good coach. I think that's a good coach. When you're a manager, it's a completely different game, because what does a coach do? A coach takes orders from the manager, from the other coaches, to so-called improve everyone else's game. You know, Sterling said it, Zinchenko said it, etc. That Arteta supposedly is great coach on a personal level, like in individual game. You're a manager, you look at a big picture. It's not always looking at the individuals. It's creating a team with chemistry and with, you know, tactics that plays to each player's strength. And we know the real reason why we got Arteta. I personally think it was a rush thing. You know, we're Arsenal Football Club. You could get majority of managers if you wanted them. Arteta, ex-Arsenal player, and works under Pep. That ticks a lot of boxes for some fans. I don't know why. And, you know, probably a lot of people in the staff, you know, they already know him. They know they're going to do, he's going to do whatever they say. He's a yes man. He will do he'll do what they say, tell him to do. And that's what he looks for in players as well. And I don't see manager qualities within him. Again, another clip I've seen is we're starting to see the real side of everything, I think, and we're not seeing many positive things. I've seen a lot of negative things. I've watched one of his pep talks that he does in the dressing room that got, you know, from the documentary. I've watched it, and it's not motivating. It's not motivating me. I've watched, you know the movies like 89. I've watched Arsenal documentaries. Yeah, I've watched the Arsenal documentaries, all of them. I've watched the Arsene Wenger documentaries, you know, name it, I've watched them. They inspire me to get up and do something with my life, or get up and go play football. I don't see that in Arteta. I don't see him, you know, he looks so animated on the sidelines, but he micromanages too much. That's not a good managerial quality, and I don't see it, and I don't think he will improve. Personally, as Northside said, managers go to smaller clubs and learn their trade. You look at Patrick Vieira, you look at Orange, they don't just jump in on the deep end in one of the biggest clubs in English football. You don't do that. That's stupid. Like, that's unrealistic. So I think getting him in was a big part in obviously Edu is to blame, the Cronkies, etc. That it's a rush decision. It's always a rush. You look at the people they interviewed for the job, and it very fits in the same category of either ex-Arsenal player, you know, who's worked under someone great. You know, it all fits the same category, and that's why I think it's not. I don't see it just as Arteta. It's a bit off the question, but I don't see it just as Arteta. I see it as a whole, you know, chain of people, because at the end of the day, someone's above Arteta, someone's above them, and it all comes down. So. But in terms of will he improve, I don't think so. You look at aubameyang, look what he was doing, you know, under Emery, etc. A good player, a good player, and you let him off on a free. And we know Arteta and Edu, they work in this like triangle of transfers. It's their responsibility. So for me, he's not going to improve. If you're turning players that are at a really, really, you know, high caliber of player, if you're turning them into not scoring at all, that says a lot. That says a lot. And if you can't turn 400 million into trophies, I don't see you going anywhere ever.
And that's the thing, because, you know, going to you, Jez. Well, I mean, do you know what? And this is another thing. Well, this is what really wound me up right on Saturday, because I kept making the point of this man has spent 400 million. Now people were going on like that's chump change. I'm like, that's a lot of money. You know, when you spend that amount of money, you should, by rights, be looking at the team after that amount of spend and looking at the team and thinking, wow. I don't look at this team and think, wow. I don't. You know, and I think the thing with Arteta, the only thing I would disagree with you on, Gracie, I personally think they wanted him. I think that's partly the reason why they never backed Emery, because I know they approached him before and he wasn't ready. And they've just been waiting in the wings for this guy. And I do believe, like a lot of like Terence and a lot of these, you know, Arteta-ins, they want purely because, and you guys are going to laugh, I know you are, but I genuinely mean this, right, when I say this. He's a good-looking bloke. Not my cup of tea, of course. But do you know what? Universally, I honestly believe that plays a part in it. I do not care what anybody tells me, right? Wenger is an icon, and I know I cope that man off because I can't forgive the latter years putting himself above this club. However, what I will say, the man was an absolute icon, right? And he got forced out by the fans. I've never seen Wenger get the level of protection this man has got. Wenger, to an extent, you see what he's done with us, and over the years, you kind of think, yeah, I can see why he would get that level of protection. He's a legend, he's an icon. This man is far from that. But yet, no one wants to talk about his deficiencies. No one wants to talk about the way we bottled top four last season, which would have impacted our transfer market, in my opinion, because then you have to go down to your second, third, fourth choice. But Jez, I mean, would you agree? Because I genuinely think they wanted this man for time. I don't think it was a rush.
Yeah, it's so the same of the days when we signed Bruce Rioch back in time. They didn't want Bruce Rioch. Bruce Rioch was a stopgap. David Dean, we all know now, David Dean had been in discussion for a long time with Arsene Wenger, but he was under a contractual thing at Grand Passat. So they basically employed Bruce Rioch, who, let's get it right, did the amazing thing of signing Dennis Bergkamp.
Yeah.
So what Arsenal did with Unai Emery was no different. They never backed him. They were waiting in the wings. Dear God, Diesel, Gracie, Northside, why? What was the attraction of this absolute prick? You know, he has no proven record. At least Unai Emery had a proven track record. He'd achieved. But no, the Arsenal board decided, well, no, we don't want to back him. We'll wait our time. And, Unai Emery gets us to a Europa League final against Chelsea. The team don't turn up. Why? I don't know. I thought that was so disrespectful. But I just want to answer a question here, Diesel, if I may.
Yeah, go on.
Guy in your chat, Kevin Ball. Listen, the fans are the biggest problem. I.e., Lee Judges is now calling Arteta Super Arteta. He was on his case just before the season ended. All the big channels on YouTube are You Up Club. Now, very case in point. Let me just tell you about this fella, Judges. He's a liar. He's a faker. He bigs it up about his time in the North Bank. Let me tell you, he is not ever known in the North Bank. I was in the North Bank for 32 years. I went home and away with some proper wrong-uns. I went home and away with true Arsenal. I've been there, seen it, done it. I've questioned that bloke and said to him, where did you spend your time in the North Bank? Now, if you were a North Bank guy, you had your spot. You had your spot with either the Herd back in time in the 70s, the Wrong Boys, or the NMB, NBAs, all that crap. That guy is a fucking liar. Sorry, it's swearing on the channel. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. I can tell you from probably 250 people that I know that went to the North Bank regularly for 32 years, nobody knows him.
Yeah, I know you've called him out a couple of times in the chat, and he just doesn't answer your questions, does he?
He would never answer my question. I called him out. called him out. He will never answer me. So don't listen to a word that absolute liar says.
This is why we need Jez on YouTube.
I'm telling you.
This is why we need you on YouTube, Jez. This is why we need you, man. Don't stop.
No, hey, I'm sorry. I stood at that North Bank for 32 years. Never saw him once. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I knew a lot of people. I know the faces, might not have known them. I might not have known them. Or I might say, all right, how you doing, how you doing, how you doing? Going down Gillespie Road, you say, all right, mate, how you doing, all right. I couldn't tell you their names, but I knew the faces.
Yeah.
Right? And you might be in the North Bank and say, all right, buddy, how you doing? How's it going? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Discussion, whatever. I'm not saying I drunk with them. I'm not saying I was mates with them, but you knew the faces.
Yeah.
And you, Northside, you, Diesel, you've been there, you've done it. You each week you'd see the regulars, right? Home and away, you'd know the crew, who you do. Oh, mate, how you doing? How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. All this and all that. He is an absolute flip-flop arse, and I can't stand. Yes, I did know Maria very well, my friend. Yes, very, very well. Sad she died. And Kenny and I used to talk to, Kenny and I didn't know Kenny back in time, but yeah. Kenny knows her very well. I knew her. Well, Maria, you could never, you could not hear her, to be fair. But yeah, I'm just trying to make a point, people. People like Lee Judges and Arsehole Football TV are fakes. They play to the masses and they lead young kids down the wrong path because all they're interested in, I'm telling you, is money, promotion, and the views. Fakes. Do not follow it.
Joe, it's funny because I was going to when I see Kevin Ball's comment there, I'm always feel a bit funny because I many times, Jez, like you're always in my chat. I've got no issue. I go in all the time on these guys, on these clowns. But when I've got company on the channel, I don't want people to feel awkward, right? So I just try and give it a pass. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. Like I do, it does play a part. I'm not knocking them. They can do what they want. It's fine. I think the issue I've got is the false narrative that they portray. Because in one sense, I mean, and this is why I feel so sorry for Emery. And like Northside, touched on it earlier on. And then people straight away think, oh.
Can I just say one thing? Sorry.
No, go on.
Wait till this season with Lee, Kenny, and I. And I'll just drop this in with you. Kenny, Lee, and I are doing a 2-weekly thingy bob on my channel, right? And I'm going to have alternative guests. I'll get you on. I'll get Northside on. Next Tuesday, I've got Gracie Mae coming on. We are not taking any prisoners. We have a plan, and we are going to roast all of these people. I mean, roast them.
Ooh, buzzing. But do you know what? As much as we say this is the season, there's no hiding place. When I say there's no hiding place, I'm on about these lot. No, this lot, not just Arteta, not just the club, because these guys, and this is what I'm saying, Jez. It's long. I look at it long term. We are losing a generation of Arsenal fans. People don't clock that. People don't clock that. I'm telling you.
Can I just say to you, if I'm sorry if I've embarrassed you by saying that on your channel, but go and look at the facts and figures of the views, right? Compared to the AF Arsenal Fact TV, right? Look at their views compared to what certain other channels here have been getting. Yeah. Just go and look at the facts, my friend. Go and look at the facts. They are a dying channel because people are moving away.
Yeah,
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
No, I agree. I've seen it. Everyone has the cutoff point, and you can only lie to people like there's only so long you can do it. We've got eyes. We see what's going on. Oregon Gona as well. Big up for your super chat. SS Sirloin Steak Fund. Thank you very much, mate. Haven't talked much about Smith Rowe. If Yuri Tillemans and another midfielder comes in, what happens to? Yeah, good question. What happens to him? Just curious. Great show today, all. Big up Oregon. Gracie Smith Rowe. We haven't really spoken about him, have we? Will he be a bit part player? Do you see him getting into? Listen, the one thing I will say, we do need a squad. I know we talk, like proper tough about the first 11. We're playing double the amount of games this season, hence why we do need that squad needs beefing up. I like Smith Rowe. The one thing I will say about Smith Rowe, no, I don't know if you agree with this, guys. I've always thought he's got a fitness problem. He's one of them players who just can't seem to complete 90 minutes. He reminds me a lot of that. Do you remember Van der Vaart used to play for Spurs? Good player. He just couldn't ever get a 90-minute shift out of him. I don't know if there's a fitness thing with him. I don't know. But Gracie, what's your take on Smith Rowe?
I love him. I love Smith Rowe. I love the way he plays. I think it's quality. The way he drives on the ball, you could see a difference from your sideways passing Xhaka and Odegaard. When he comes on, I'm like, yes, we can actually get forward, get into the box, create a chance here and there. I agree with you, Diesel. I think he does have a fitness issue because we don't see enough of him. Whether that's we have Odegaard, and Smith Rowe's kind of been pushed out a bit, and you don't really see him much anymore. But we are playing double the amount of games this season, and hopefully we stay in those competitions, and I think we can see a lot more of Smith Rowe in the likes of the FA Cup, the Europa League. Certainly, obviously, we know Europa League's is usually a different squad. We do play a different squad, so I think we're going to see a lot of him, and I like him. I really like Smith Rowe. As I said, the way he deals with the ball and he drives and his pace, it's a good combination, definitely, and he can score as well, which is key. So yeah, I think we'll see a bit more of him this season, especially in the Europa League, if anything. But in terms of the Premier League, I don't see him coming on that much because of the lineup and the favourites Arteta has. I just don't see where he could slot in unless someone's injured or needs to come off.
Do you know what I do? I want to ask you guys something very quickly because this was something else that was a hot topic on Saturday. Let me go to Northside first, right? I think we're in agreement, meaning because I don't rate Odegaard too tough, if I'm honest with you. However, the point was made to me, and I'm trying to look at it from both angles here, trying to be fair. The point was made to me, yeah, but Diesel, Odegaard this season, he's got Jesus in front of him. He's now. Do you remember Ozil? We used to hear this about Ozil. Well, if he's got pacey striker in front of him and he's got DMs behind him, this man will flourish. And I'm like, yeah, but a world-class player should be able to. Why does he need so much accommodating? Now, Odegaard's here, and I'm hearing, yeah, but he had Lacazette in front of him. It's a bit sluggish, not that quick. He's now got Jesus. We're going to see the best of Odegaard, this season. So many of those through balls, Jesus going to run onto him, this, that, the other. Because for me, Northside, this is Odegaard. This is make or break for Odegaard as well. He's got the captaincy that comes with pressure as well. Will he step up to the plate? Will it make a difference having Jesus in front of him? What do you reckon?
Listen, I think obviously it's an upgrade on a player playing in front, playing behind Jesus to Lacazette. But that doesn't take away his deficiencies. And his deficiencies, in my opinion, is he likes to go sideways instead of going at defenders. Yes. Kind of like we've got an example already in the squad, a player that plays the same position, but is more forward thinking in Emil Smith Rowe, like you guys just mentioned. The problem is he's not fit enough. But when he is fit, the thing I like more about him, the reason I rate him above Odegaard is because he always drives forward. He always goes forward. He's always looking to break the lines, see a pass through the eye of the needle, always looking forward. But Odegaard, if he's got two banks of four, let's say, Gabriel Jesus gets marked out the game. They're really compact, which is probably the setup we're going to be up against Crystal Palace, the first game of the season. If Jesus is getting marked out the game, what is Odegaard actually bringing to the team? Because he's not going to make a run. He's not going to, you know, try and burst through their defense or try and catch, you know, Jesus when he's trying to make a run. He's not like that. Do you know what I mean? If the team doesn't open up, he can't find his man, he can't find a winger, he can't find a striker. And this is why I don't rate him that well. And this is why, once again, like we got Ceballos, we see why Real Madrid were more than happy to let him go. Because Real Madrid don't let ballers leave their club. Yeah. I think the last ball I've seen Real Madrid get it wrong with, leave too early, was Magalhaes. Yeah. That is the last time. That was ages ago. That was back in Galactico era. They don't get it wrong very often. I can't remember them letting a player go in their prime. You know, even when they got washed out players like Benzema. Look what Benzema's done since Ronaldo's gone. And this is what I'm saying. I think Odegaard is average. And because we're starving, because our midfield is so dead, we overgas Odegaard. But in reality, he's very mediocre. Very mediocre. Unless the team's going to open up and bomb us, this guy is rubbish. The amount of times backwards, sideways, he bores me. He doesn't offer anything. And this is why we get excited when we see Martinelli. Look at the way Martinelli drives at opposition. Look at the way Emil Smith-Rowe drives. Yeah, he may lose the ball, but you need your attacking players are going to do that. Because they're making risky passes, risky moves, because they're trying to dislodge the opposing team. You don't see that from Odegaard. You don't see that. Do you know what I mean? And just before I end my point, we got Jack Weston here, Northside nodding along, acting like he doesn't chill with aftv after games. Okay, let me give you a little correction, my friend. I went to the Watford game, yeah? Actually, I didn't go to the game. I did the watch-along, yeah? Do your Googles, check my channel. Did a watch-along, yeah? And it wasn't too far from where I lived. So I went down to the stadium. I didn't do my match reaction. I did my match reaction on aftv. Now, I did 2 match reactions, yeah? Both of them, I did a watch along on my channel, went over there. Did I change anything I say right now? No. It's funny you don't want to mention what I said because I didn't change my story. I'm not a flip-flop. Yeah? I kept it the same. I went on there, used their platform to plug mine. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I had less than 1,000 and I said to make sure you like and subscribe Northside LDN.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that as well. I'm sick. Yeah.
Exactly. So what is your point? What is your point? Yeah, I went on the biggest Arsenal platform, said what I had to say. Cecil's looking at me sideways, like, are you serious? Yes, Cecil, this squad ain't good enough. Yeah? I'd love to see him again now and say to him, do you remember when you thought I was crazy at Watford? I told you wouldn't get top 4.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Nice. Facts. Joseph kind of golden as well. Really nice guy, this guy, Joseph. Big up Diesel, Northside, Jez, Gracie, brilliant show. Joe, I know I always see you in our chat rooms as well, always like spreading nothing but love. Much appreciated for that donation, mate. Do you know what? I do want to ask you guys about something as well. I just want to, obviously, Jez, I know you're away on holiday still, aren't you?
No, I'm back now, mate. Back.
Are you back, yeah? Oh, okay, cool. I feel bad. I'm just going to say, I just want to get your take on this isn't Arsenal related, right? But I'm just intrigued. You see this whole Cristiano Ronaldo thing, right? Look, you know, as much as we, because I've predicted 7th for Arsenal this, and listen, I know a lot of people think I'm bonkers with that. The only thing I would say, which sort of may go in our favour, is when I'm looking at certain teams around us. I mean, Leicester haven't got one player in yet. You know, I don't know what's going to happen with them. Man United, I personally think they're in trouble. Chelsea, they need obviously 3 or 4 more. So I'm looking at that, and but again, I'd like to get things on merit. I don't want to get things. Oh, we only got that because they fell apart and they fell away and they fell away. I want to get things on merit, right? What do you got? Like with Cristiano, this is obviously 2 questions, right? The first one, before we go, I just want to wrap it up. The first one, what would you guys deem a successful season? What would Arsenal and Arteta do this season for you to think, do you know what, fair play, success? Or, yeah, it's good enough to warrant him another year, another shot next year, right? That's the first question. And the second question, is Ronaldo right or wrong with how he's going on? Because, like, let's be honest, he's doing an absolute madness at the moment, right? And I've always said, Ronaldo, he's a winner. I love the fact he's a winner and he wants to break records and he wants to be in the Champions League. But when I see him dash off at half time, I did think to myself, right, that's a bit like, I don't know. But I'm surprised that no one's coming to take him. I get the money thing, but then I also think you're probably getting triple that, like in terms of merchandise and sponsorship. This is a brand, big time. I just don't get it. But what would you deem, Gracie? I'll go to you. What do you deem a successful season for Arsenal? What's Arteta got to do?
He would have to win the Premier League for me to warrant him another season, the Premier League and something else, I think, at this point. But if we're talking realistically here, I think, top four is a definite, it's a given. It has to be done. And a trophy. I expect some sort of silverware this season. You can't come out and make a statement saying it's time to win trophies without, going and actually doing something. So for me, top four plus a trophy. If you're not giving me that, then I'm sorry. Just go. There's no point. There's no point of giving another year, because that'll be another 100 million spent. By the time then, it could be about a $250 million spent. And then we're just stuck in the same situation. It's like I see it like a circle, and it's a cycle. We're just going round and round and round, and it feels like it's been going on for the past nearly 20 years. It's just this vicious cycle. You spend money. Yeah, give it a go at the FA Cup. Love winning the FA Cup. Best trophy. Love it all day. But it's just that horrible cycle, and you're never going to get anywhere major. And then in terms of Ronaldo, I think clubs aren't coming in for him because it's a big personality, and you look at Atletico Madrid fans, for example, they're protesting to not have him, right? Because when you're bringing in Ronaldo, you also bring in a lot more than just a player, like you said, Diesel. It's a brand in terms of money, but is what United did is, they built it around him. It has to always, the club suddenly becomes centered around this one player. Oh, you've got Ronaldo, like Ronaldo. When you're talking United, who do you talk about first? You talk about Ronaldo. So, going to another club, it's like it's all going to be centered around him. Nobody's bigger than the club, and that's the issue United are having with Ronaldo. I think he does think sometimes he is bigger than the club. He is Ronaldo. He had a fantastic career at United before he left in the past, but now I think his time's slowly coming down. He's getting older as well, and a lot of teams don't want that negativity surrounding it. And I think what he's doing at United is wrong, because at the end of the day, he's still a professional. And again, it comes down to things where I think he thinks he is bigger than everyone else at the club, and he can do what he wants, and that's not the case. I think it's rude and unprofessional, because at the end of the day, they're paying you to be there. They're paying you to play on the pitch. A ridiculous amounts of money he gets paid as well. So, if you want to leave, terminate your contract. I'm sure another club will come in for you. Terminate your contract, say, no, I want done, and move on, because what he's doing United now is he's getting too much of a negative cycle around him, and he doesn't want to end his career with United, or end his career like that at all, because he's a fantastic player, one of the best in the world. So I think it's wrong, definitely.
Jez?
Okay. I've got a totally different perspective. I respect what Grace is saying. This guy has now got too big. His time's done. He's got greedy, and I think his time is done, and he has to accept it, and he has to accept what it is. And he was a great player, awesome player, but his time's done, and I think he should bow out very gracefully and say, well, okay, thank you very much, Man United. You made my career as a very young man. I then left. I've made the billions of pounds he's made. He's come back. He hasn't made the jackpot. And if I'll be honest, if I was the owner of Man United, I'll be saying, well, thanks very much, mate. The time's done. Off you go.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me what you want. If you don't like it, do one.
Yeah.
And I think this is a weakness, Diesel, with a lot of management now in professional clubs. They are beholden to big name players who demand too much. I would never, ever, ever accept that. I don't care how good they are. If they come knocking on my door as chairman of that football club and saying, I want this, I want that, I would say, well, you're going to get what you get. If you don't like it, do one.
Yeah.
Simple. That's it. I'm old school. I'm sorry, I'm old school. I don't take bull. I won't accept bullying from a football player that you're paying, God knows, what is he on, 300 grand a week? Something stupid like that? I don't know.
Probably double that, yeah.
Nobody's going to tell me what to do if I own that football club. And the manager, Ten Hag, I'm going to say he's going to. If that was me, I say, well, if you don't like it, piss off.
Do you know what? I agree, because in a way, I think Ten Hag would prefer him to go, because a rebuild is a proper rebuild. If we're going to rebuild this, let's do it proper from the ground up, right? With Ronaldo there, he brings goals. I get that, but he is Ronaldo, isn't he? I think we see it with Thierry Henry.
But he's past best, mate. He's past best.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's 37, man. Like,
he's on his way down now. He's on his way down. He was a very brilliant footballer at Man United. And, when he left Man United, he was a world-class player. He's not anymore. So, I'm sorry, you can't dictate to a team like Man United, I want this, I want that. Well, if you don't like it, sod off. Yeah. It's not, look, comparison, right? You bought a Ferrari, right? You bought a Ferrari. It was a great car when it was new. It's now 5 years old and it's giving you problems. You either keep repairing it or you sell it. Simple as. That's life.
And also, Jez, what would be a successful season in your eyes for Arteta and Arsenal?
Okay, you know me, Diesel. I'm ruthless. If this guy, I'll put this to you now. If this guy, Arteta, is not challenging by Christmas, right, for the Premier League, if he's not in a fight, right, the Europa Cup, he's gone. If he's not next season, if he's still here, and I hope he's not, if he's not challenging for the FA Cup, he's gone. Done. See you later.
What about
I've had enough of the bullshit. I've had enough of the processes. Enough of the programs. I've had enough of all these. This, that, all these buzz phrases. I've had enough. It's done.
I love you, Jez.
It's done. This season, this guy has to bring to fruition, because now he's had 6 transfer windows. He's spent God knows how many millions of pounds. He's bought pony players. He's now got the team, right? He's got the team. So now, Mikel Arteta, you perform. If you don't perform by Christmas, you're done. Get out of this club. And I'll say it right now. No, I won't. But you know what I was going to say.
Yeah. Go on, Northside. You got to try topping that now.
Which question first? Ronaldo?
Either, mate. Yeah. Go on, yeah, Ronaldo.
Okay, I'll go for the Ronaldo. For me, I don't know why he's whinging. I don't know why he's moaning. When he came to Ronaldo, he knew he was walking into a Man United team that's not ready to compete, a Man United team that's all over the place, a Man United team that is in disarray. So if you wanted to win straight away, why did you move to Man United? Why? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like he was under any illusion. I'm sure he was seeing what was going on at Man United, and there are shambles. Did he really think either his ego's so big that he thought that just him coming back is enough to win the league? Well, mate, you underestimated the Premier League. You ain't that player anymore. Listen, I love Ronaldo, but his ego's got too big. And I've seen this crap for my national team in Portugal. We got Bernardo Silva, we got João Felix, we've got all these players, and every time the ball has to go to him. And yes, most of the time he does score the goals, but a lot of times we could be winning 3, 4, 5 goals up, but we don't, because everyone always has to look for Ronaldo, and he's not going to pull every goal, and he's not going to put the ball at the back of the net at every opportunity, because sometimes João Felix is in space, sometimes Jota's in space. All these different players are in space, but no, you've got to keep giving it to Ronaldo. So for me, if I was a Man United fan, get rid of him. Because as much as he has brand to Portugal, as much as he has brought to Man United, you can see that it's very easy to nullify your team with Ronaldo, because everyone knows that you're going to give all the service to him, so it's easy to lock him off the game. Do you get what I'm saying? He will score a goal, but out of 10, 15 chances, he's going to miss because they're going to double up on him. So it's easier. We've seen it with Man City and Liverpool. You're a much better team all round when the service is for everyone. Whoever's in the best position gets the service and then puts it in the back of the net. None of the biggest teams right now, the best teams right now, got one man and all the service goes to one man. Man United are doing that and they're not winning the league. Man City don't do that. Liverpool don't do that. Even Bayern Munich with Lewandowski, even he would assist sometimes for Gnabry and Sane and all these players, because you become less predictable. It's harder to mark you. So if I was a Man United fan, I would say, listen, good riddance, man, because as much as you score goals, you're also taking away goals from Bruno Fernandes. You're taking away goals from other players in and around the squad, and you're making us more predictable. What was the second question?
No, that's what do you think would be a successful season for us?
A successful season for Arsenal is challenging for the league and winning one of the cups. Anything less to me is not a successful season. You can't say a season is successful if you ain't won nothing.
Yeah.
So and also not enough just by winning a cup, because your overall improvement or where you are as a team, for me, I still think is based on where you finish in the league. And if you're not up there and it's still tight, I'm talking about you still got 2-3 weeks to go and you're still in and around amongst the title race. That for me, I can be like, okay, I'm seeing proper progress right now. You know what I mean? But I was gonna say if he doesn't win the league, I want him fired. I want him fired regardless. But to be completely fair to him, be in a title race up until the last 2 weeks, and then I'll be like, right, the money you've spent, and now we're in a title race, and we've won a cup. Cool. That's actually something substantial that I can say there is progress there. I can actually start saying there's progress. I still want him out, but I can see there's progress.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I think I was asked the question and everyone laughed at this for some reason. But what I said was, I think for a successful season for Arsenal, and when I say that, what I mean is by the end of next season, if there was any chance of me saying, yeah, I would have, yeah, all right, Arteta can go again for another season. Yeah. What he's got to do for me to get to that point, for me, he has to win the Europa League, not get to the semis. He has to win it. Win it. I'm not into this Carabao Cup nonsense, right? He's got to win the Europa League. And as you said, Northside, he's got to compete for the league title. If he gets third, and I'm not on about third where we're 25, 30 points off of them from Christmas. I'm on about third and we're just shy. Because if we're being honest, those two teams above us are better than us, right? If he gets third and he wins the Europa League, then cool. Now, people hear that and think, oh, that's a bit, well, hang on a minute. No, he spent 400 million, right? He is everything this man has asked for, he's got. Let's be real. And you know, I'll be honest, this is what really annoys me about Emery. And I'm not sitting here saying he's a world-class manager or whatever. I just feel sorry for the man. I think that's why I always bring his name up, because I like people to be treated with a bit of equality, right? What goes for him must go for that man as well. And do you know what? When you look at what he achieved with a dead team, as you said earlier on, then that man deserved another go. Jez, you said it in that final, right? And I go on about this all the time. We lost 4-0. When I saw the way he stood at the full-time whistle in disbelief at his team, and mostly I always seem to, you have to put it on the manager as well as the players. That was the one game I thought, do you know what? I can't even put that on Emery because of how he was, the way he looked at that team. We've been training all week. It was all looking good. And you let me down right now because there was no pressure on Chelsea. They were already in the Champions League, right? That was for us to win. Do you know what I'm saying? And that really sort of, I felt for the guy. I felt for the guy. Now, this guy here, I know whether we rate him or not, Emery wanted Zaha. I think Harry Maguire, I'm sure he wanted, or someone else. He didn't get that. He got served up players he didn't want, and he still managed to get a result, a tune out of the place he didn't want. But when we talk about Mikel Arteta, he can't get a tune out of the players he bought. These are his players. So again, the logic, keep the same energy with this man. Do you know what I'm saying? He has got, and people think that's being harsh and, you're expecting too much. No. You're the ones who are gassing pre-season up, not me. You're the ones who are gassing this manager up, not me. You are the ones who are saying it's a 10 out of 10 transfer window, not me. So by your logic then, you should be saying what I'm saying. Because this man has got everything he wants. Everything. No one talks about last season, by the way, how we bottled top 4. That's forgotten now. That's forgotten. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know why? Because we had a decent pre-season. Arsenal fans have got short memories and they need to realise he has spent a lot of money. Jez, everything he's asked for, he's got. There is no excuses now. There are no Edu, and I'm glad you said that because we're going to hang Edu with those words as well. Because anyhow, Arsenal don't win nothing this season, and Arteta is still here for next season. You know what's going to happen? The goalposts are going to change. We won't change, but we'll still stay the same. The minute the next transfer in the summer transfer window, all he's got to do is buy a decent player, quality player. Again, the season before, forgotten. You know what I'm saying? This man is on 8 million a year. Earn your money. Earn it. So for me, top 3 minimum, 3rd, and he's got to win the Europa League for me. Gracie, you answered that, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah, I answered that one.
I was going to say, yeah, I'll lose my train of thought. Guys, listen, it's been an hour and 27 minutes. I just want to thank Jez for coming on, Northside for coming on, and Gracie for coming on. God, we've been going quite a while, haven't we?
Yeah.
See, when we wax lyrical, it just flies, doesn't it, people? Also, the guys in the chat as well. Guys, please, I'm going to give the guys, obviously, a chance now to obviously give out their Twitter handles and the YouTube channels and all of that. But please, I know we say it all the time, but I really do mean this. Hit the likes, hit the notification bell, but also please subscribe to these guys because I say this all the time. Me doing this YouTube lark in this world, oh my God, have I come across some absolute muppets and wrong'uns. But I've also come across some proper, decent people. In the East End, we call them proper people, right? And there's no one more proper than these 3 here. So please, give them a follow. Gracie, shout out your channel, my love.
No, thanks for having me on. It's been great. Thanks for coming on mine yesterday. If you haven't checked that out, people, it's a good one, so you're going to want to check it out. But Gracie Mae, as it is on the screen, on YouTube, you'll find me. I'm not really active on other social media, but maybe some stuff in the near future is coming on some different platforms. But check me out over there. Me and Jez, we're doing a big collab this season, and we're going to be doing watch-alongs on both of our channels. So please come and check it out. Friday will be on my channel, is the first one. Obviously, first game of the season. We're hitting off with a bang with the watch-along, and I know we're both definitely looking forward to it. My match day is usually followed by fan cams as well. I'm looking to get other fans on doing fan cams straight after the game, which would be videos, uploads. I do weekly podcasts. Yeah, a lot is coming up this season. I'm hopefully getting to quite a few games this season as well, up at the Emirates. So it's gonna be good fun. So please go check it out.
Lovely. Mia, make sure everyone there subscribes to Gracie. Northside.
Yeah, YouTube, Northside LDN. Yeah, that's nice and simple. I don't really use my Instagram that much, but same, Northside LDN. And yeah, big up. Thanks for having me on, bro.
No, anytime, man. Always welcome, bruv. Always welcome. And Jez, the legend that is.
Yeah, thanks, man. First of all, can I say, Diesel, awesome channel. I love coming on your channel. You just say it as it is.
No,
Gracie,
no filter, mate.
I mean, yeah, I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Gracie, mate. Let's get this lady to 1K. We're going to do these watch-alongs. I've not done them before. We're doing it with Gracie, mate, alternate. So it's going to be fun. And Northside London, mate, you are a top streamer. Mate, what you do is awesome. Yeah, you can find me on the Arsenal history and more. I'm on the way to 3K, but please come and join us. I've got some amazing stuff coming up for the new season. Some very special guests. I've got wait and see. Come and see. I'm going to have these guys on, Diesel, Gracie, Northside, on with some very special guests, alternately over the weeks, and it'll be amazing stuff. It'll be amazing content. Got some great ideas. Been discussing it throughout the summer with some people, and come and watch it. Diesel will be on, Gracie Mae will be on, Northside London will be on. And I'm going to say it here, guys. I'm limited to a few people that I think are great content providers, and that's the way forward. And Diesel, thank you for having me on, my friend. It's always awesome.
Anytime, and obviously, you know what I'm like, Jez. When it comes to the end of the stream, I tend to get a little bit emotional. So I'm going to say this. All right, I'm going to say this. Listen, I do streams all the time on my own, especially when I started up, this channel. And I love doing it on my own. And as you guys know, I don't shut up. I go for 2.5 hours until my throat goes and I've got to go and have a munch, right? But one thing I will say, I have loved every minute of being on Jez's and sharing the platform, because it's so nice sometimes to be with people, right, when you do it, especially when you chat a lot and you need that break, you need a sip of your drink, right? So it's really nice. And obviously, Northside, I love your content, man. I love people who just tell it as it is. No airs, no graces. This is me, no filter. Take me or leave me. You don't beg for subs. If you like what you see, great, watch. If you don't, do you know what? Plenty of other channels. See you later. I just love people like that, man, because I'm sick of this facade. Is he telling the truth? Is he being real? Is he not? Is he this? Is he not? I hate all that. So you three, honestly, guys, thanks for coming on. And for my subscribers who are watching, I'm trying to get Northside to do a Love Island thing with me, a best bitch, yeah? All right? I'm getting there, guys. So just give me a week or so. I'm going to try and change his mind. And
listen, we got to do it, man.
Jez loves it. Jez is on it. So
you're gonna get just kicked out the house, man. You're gonna get kicked out the house. No, honestly, Diesel, man, you're a real one. This is why I wanted to collab with you, because you're a real one. Gracie as well, like Diesel. I like to see another Arsenal fan that likes to shout just like me, because I get told I shout a lot. I know I shout a lot, so big up to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the only one. Gracie Mae, honestly, her mom should be so proud. Gracie, honestly, like at your age doing this, the way you're putting yourself out there, there's grown men that are Arsenal fans that ain't got the balls to come on here and show their face and say what they have to say. Do you know what I mean? Because they want acceptance from everyone. There's a lot of sheep out here. There's not many leaders. Do you know what I'm saying? It takes a leader to say the things that you say and the way you say it. And you say it in the right way. Do you know what I mean? Gracie, if I needed to say something right, I'd run it by Gracie. She'll say it in the right way. And Jez, listen, man, you are what's been needed in the Arsenal community. We needed somebody from your generation on YouTube, and this is why your YouTube channel is flying. Do you know what I mean? We needed somebody of your generation saying it as it is, man, and people are resonating with your content. And listen, I'm always staying in tune. But Diesel, man, you are a joker, man. Honestly, you are a joker. I like the way you do, because you add the little funny, you add your personality, you know what I mean? And that's the thing with YouTube. When you add your personality, nobody else can be you. Do you know what I
That's
mean?
what I'm saying. I promise you, I don't script this. I promise you, Northside. I've not got a script. I promise. I've not.
Keep shouting, Jez. Keep sipping your wine, and Gracie, keep watching Downtown Abbey. You know what I'm saying?
No, stop calling me out, man. Stop. No, I'm not having this. So,
thing is, guys, I think the fact is that, you know, I am the grandfather of the crew, and I say it as it is because really I don't give a whatever. And people don't like me; they don't like me. I don't care. I've been called so many names in my life. I don't care. If people hate me, they hate me. It doesn't affect my life. You know, I've got very, very thick skin. We all get hate, don't we, in the chat. As my channel's grown, it's increased. But really, I don't care. I don't care. I've got a great life. I've had a great 2 days away with my wife. We had a great time. I don't care.
Do you know what, Jez? Do you know what? It's listen, you know, my dad's always said to me, listen, until they're paying your bill, yeah, I don't care about them. Do you know what I mean? Unless if they're paying my way in life, I will listen to what they got to say. Until then, because you said something, Jez, in a stream once. I think it may have been on Gracie's or on yours, and it's always resonated with me. Right? You made a point of saying, see, Diesel, mine, Northside, Gracie. Yes, our channels are nowhere near as big as that lot over there, but you see, we're on the uprise. You know, I'm telling you now. Yeah, we are getting. We're going up. People are starting to listen to us, and you know what? While there's voices like ours, it may be a slow process. What I said to you, Gracie, earlier on, you know, so many people quit YouTube because they think it's instant. It's not. It takes work, and it's the, you know, longevity. But I'm telling you now, stick to what you say and what you preach, and you will be heard. It will come. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you speak truth. You can't. When you speak the truth, you always remember the truth. It's the easiest thing to remember. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So stay true to what you do. Northside, I love your content. It's sick.
Sorry to interrupt you once again. I do apologise. A certain YouTuber, of a big YouTuber that we all know, who has achieved great success, and another certain gentleman who's not a YouTuber but is very popular, they have made a very good statement that this season, people like us, small YouTubers, will see a major upturn as it turns, as a certain gentleman said, as the worm turns.
Yeah.
Because we stay faithful, we say it as it is, we're not flip-flops, we don't flip around, we're not buying into the club because of popularity, we're not making it out, we don't go on, dare I say it, tours to Africa, or we don't go on tours to America to be popular with the club. You know who I'm talking about, guys, Gracie. And bide your times, people, bide your times, because the worm is gonna turn.
Sorry, before we end, everyone's giving a little monologue and I haven't said anything. I just before.
Yeah, your turn, Gracie. Come on.
Now, right? Listen up.
Give us a motivational speech.
Come on. No, I want to say thank you to you guys. Seriously, I started my channel, I know, like 10, 11 months ago, right? I've met some great people. I started for a very special reason of my own. And if you know, go check out my channel. You'll know, you'll find out. It's all on there. The video's on there. And here you go. There's my mum. It is special. I've met some great guys. I'm carrying on a legacy that is very important to me. So it's been great to come on. You know, I am the minority. I am a woman. I am young. I'm 17. I only 17 a few months ago, and you know it's important. I think as well, like the success of the women's team in England as well. It's you're going to see a big uproar. We're all coming for you all, so watch out. But no, thank you to all of you. You know, you've given me a platform as well. You've helped grow my platform constantly, and it's been amazing. It's been a great, nearly year already. So a lot more to come, but it's going to be great. I'm going to enjoy it.
Gracie, man. What are you doing to me? What's wrong with you?
Get yourself together, man. Come on. Oh.
Gracie, can I just say to you one thing? I'm going to say one thing to you. When I first saw you, you were on Lee Gunners fan cam. Probably a year ago. And, you're very impressive. And I'm, very impressed with what you said. You spoke. The thing is, you, Gracie, you speak facts. You're not emotional. You don't give out crap. You say it as it is, and that is what people want to hear. Your mum in the chat here, Sarah, should be proud of you. You're a very young lady. You've grown up with the club through your granddad, and we know that content of what you've done, and very admirable you are for that. And that's why you get respect from old buggers like me, Diesel, young man, and Northside, young man, and people like Lee Gunner and Kenny Ken. So fair play to you, Gracie. Big yourself up, because your channel will build and build and build. Well done to you.
Thank you. We need to end it soon. I'm
saying, I feel like I need to go and watch The Notebook now. Do you know what I mean?
This is like the nicest end to a stream I've ever seen.
Oh, no raging for once. We all just like compliment each other. It's too much.
All right, I'll end it then before we go even deeper. But now, guys, all joking aside, guys, in the description below, these three, the YouTube channels, their Instagram, and the Twitter handle as well. It's all in there. So yeah, please go and subscribe to them. But listen, I've loved it tonight. Someone earlier on, when you've got a couple of people in the chat saying, "Oh my God, guys, make this a regular thing, please," that's when you know it's banged, right? So do you know what, guys? Whenever you're ready, open invitation, man. Whenever you want to jump on, because I love this little clique that we're forming. I feel like I belong. I'm part of it. I love it. Buzzing. But yeah, thank you for coming on though. All chatting aside, really appreciate it. And thanks for the guys who have stayed with us tonight as well. And yeah, let's see what we do at Palace.
Arteta out, you.
Arteta out.
I was going to swear, but Gracie's there. You prat. Yeah, we use that one, yeah?